Hey YouTube. So it's been a bit since I put the iodine solution inside of my dye-sensitized solar cell, and I came back because I wanted to see how its action and potentially light sensitivity might change over time. And it's quite interesting to see how being left for 12 hours has changed the general behavior of the cell. Now, it's still not providing what I would say is incredible voltage. However, what it is doing is providing some very interesting light responses. So, like if I come over here and I make contact, you can see that with a decent contact between both sides, I have negative 32.2 millivolts, relatively constantly, rising, falling, that kind of thing. And now, what that is the result of, I'm not 110% sure whether or not that's just the action of the dye on the inside degrading. I don't really know. If I take this and I stick this onto milliamps, you can see here we get a short burst of an extremely small current flow. And yeah, so I'll stick this back on voltage. Now to show you the interesting voltage response that I was talking about here. So we're back on 2 millivolts, and we can see that the voltage here is rebuilding. So this makes me think it's some sort of, well, precisely what I was saying before, some sort of galvanic action. Now, when I take the light and I shine the light onto the cell, you can see that it is a proper functioning solar cell because the voltage does indeed climb. And it climbs in response to the intensity of light that's being shined onto it, indicating that, yes, we are indeed producing a photoelectric reaction here. Now we can see we stabilized at about 34.2. We get really close. Here we go. We can even get up to, if I put this real close, 41 millivolts. And if we come back, or we take that, we let that go, now we can see that the voltage again reverses. Really interesting behavior. Very, very interesting behavior. Now, if we want to see, well, how many milliamps is it making when we get this this light underneath? Again, we'll make sure this is just touching over here, and stick this on milliamps. And even though we had all that voltage, you can see very, very little current. Very little current in response to the light. So obviously this is not exactly the most efficient solar cell in the world. I'm going to blame it on the fact that I painted the titanium dioxide on instead of using the tape technique in order to put a very thin, consistent layer on. So it's kind of rough underneath here and bumpy, and the layer is probably significantly thicker than it should be. However, I was just trying to do something quick and dirty. Either way, it seems to work. And either way, I get this really interesting voltage response. Very, very interesting. At least to me, it's very interesting. Because we can see here how the voltage is rebuilding as the cell resumes its normal chemical reaction. And again, we apply the light. The voltage reverses. We put the light closer and closer. The voltage gets higher. Take the light away, voltage gets to be less. Now under direct sunlight, I would imagine that this would probably produce over 100 millivolts. It would probably get close to 200 millivolts, because a little flashlight like this is not actually terribly bright in relative to sunlight. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see anyways. On the next sunny day, I'm definitely going to have to stick this in the sun and see what voltage it puts out. And part of what may help with that is it doesn't seem to matter too much that the electrolyte that I put in here dried out. Now, that may also be why I'm not necessarily getting a nice level of current. However, as the first working experiment for a dye-sensitized solar cell, I'm quite happy with this experiment, and it's given me quite a bit of things to look at, and even ideas for little experiments for this for the future. Anyway, that's it for now, YouTube. We'll see you next time.